Respected elders, educationists, dear teachers, and dear students, welcome. First of all, it is my kind request that first who have been subscribed our channel so far may kindly subscribe it. Dear elders, educationists, teachers and students, today we are going to see 5 couplets from 141 to 45 under the chapter Not Coveting Another's Wife. Not coveting another's wife. This chapter, Not Coveting Another's Wife, is a very, very important chapter that through brings us. Let us see what are the moralities regarding domestic life man has to follow. That is the moralities regarding domestic life every man has to follow is insisted here. Come, let us see. Tirukural comments and explanation with new dimension. 5 couplets from 141 to 145. Video 58, dated 5/9/2023. Virtue, chapter 15, domestic virtue. Not coveting another's wife. Not coveting, not stealing another's wife. Let us see the 141st couplet. 141. That is the 141st couplet. He who has learned well virtue and property of domestic life. He who has learned well virtue and property of domestic life never indulges in the vicious act of loving another's wife. Again, he who has learned well virtue and property of domestic life never indulges in the vicious act of loving another's wife. What is the hidden message of this couplet? So it is what the sage Worldman tells us here. What is the moral value he stresses here? That is, he who has learned well virtue and property of domestic life never indulges in the vicious act of loving another's wife. That is, the man who has learned well the virtue and wealth of family life. The man who has learned well the virtue and wealth of family life, that is a domestic life, would never indulge in loving another's wife. This is the message. It is the man who has learned well the virtue and wealth of family life would never indulge in having love on another's wife. That is, a well-learned man would never think of having affair with another's wife. The content, loving another's wife is ignorance of not learning virtue and property. Loving another's wife is ignorance of not learning virtue and property. That is, the man who has not rightly learned the virtue and the virtue and worth of domestic life becomes a pride to have another's wife, to love another's wife. It is the man who is ignorant of virtue and that becomes a pride, becomes a prey of loving another's wife. That is explanation. The man who is well aware of virtue and property of family life would never commit the sinful deed of loving another's wife. The man who is well aware of virtue and property of family life would never commit the sinful deed of loving another's wife. That is, domestic life is composed by three factors: virtue, wealth, and love. Among the three, love is the soul of domestic life. Virtue and wealth are the two soldiers protecting family life. The man who does not learn well virtue and wealth falls in love with another man's wife. That is, the man who has not learned well virtue and wealth falls in love on another's wife, on the wife of another. The wife of a man is his property. Another man using that property is evil. That is, the wife of a man is his property. Another man using her is illegal, is evil. So, those who have learned well the books of virtue and wealth would never think of loving and using the wife of another. That is, those who have learned well the books of virtue and wealth would never think of loving and using the wife of another, because she is the property of another. Again, he who has learned well virtue and property of domestic life never indulges in the vicious act of loving another. That is, the well-learned man, a well-learned man of virtue and wealth of domestic life. A well-learned man of virtue and wealth of domestic life would never indulge in the evil act, would never indulge in the evil act of loving another's wife. That's all. It is loving another's wife is ignorance of not learning virtue and property. Couplet 142. Couplet 142. He who, having loved another's wife, stands at his gateway, is the worst of the worst, who become a prey to lust of gain. That is, he who, having loved another's wife, stands at his gateway, is the worst of the worst, who become a prey to lust of gain. That is, what is the message of this couplet? That is, the man who stands at the courtyard of another man, having love on his wife. The man who stands and the courtyard and the gateway, and the gateway, there is a courtyard of another man, having love on his wife, is the worst of the worst people, is the worst of the worst people, is the worst among the worst, who have become a prey to lust. The man who stands on the courtyard of another man, having love on his wife, is the worst among the worst, who have become a prey to lust. Continues. The man standing on another man's courtyard, having love on his wife, is the worst of the worst. So what is the content? The man who stands on the courtyard of another man, having love on his wife, is the worst of the worst. Explanation. The man having fallen in love with another's wife, the man having fallen in love with another's wife, stands on his courtyard, is the last of the worst, who have breached virtue due to lust. Again, the man having fallen in love with another's wife, stands on his courtyard, is the last of the worst, who have breached virtue due to lust. That is, when lust becomes a disease, it tempts man to commit any kind of evil. Thus, lustful people lose their decency and dignity because of their immoral, lustful deeds and become disgraceful. The man who falls in love with the wife of another and goes to the courtyard of that man is worse than the persons who have lost their dignity because of lust. That is, this is the central message of this couplets. That is, the man who falls in love with the wife of another and goes to the courtyard of that man is worse than the persons who have lost their dignity because of this. Further, because of lust, man becomes a slave to womanhood. When a lustful man has sex with another woman, he is unable to satisfy his lust and get a due pleasure because of fear. It is when a lustful man has sex with another woman, he is unable to satisfy his lust and get a due pleasure because of fear. Thus, because of immoral way of loving another's wife and having sex with her, a lustful man not only loses virtue and worth, but also his decency and dignity. So, men of dignity and decency should be extremely careful in this matter. That is, a lustful man, a man having, that is, because of a man having desire for womanhood, a man having desire for womanhood, not only loses his dignity, not only loses family virtue and wealth, but also his decency and dignity. So, men of dignity and decency should be extremely careful in having affair on another's wife. Again, He who having loved another's wife stands at his gateway is the worst of the worst, who become a prey to lust of prey. That is, the man who stands on the courtyard of another man, having love on his wife, is the worst of the worst, who have become a prey to lust. Couplet 143. He who has affairs with the wife of his trusted friend is nothing but a corpse, though with life, but sans mind. He who has affair with the wife of his trusted friend is nothing but a corpse, though with life, but sans mind. What is the message of this couplet? That is, the man who has affairs with the wife of his trusted friend, the man who has secret affair, illegal affair with the wife of his trusted friend is simply a dead body. This is the message of this couplet. That is, the man who has affair with the wife of his trusted friend is dead, is simply dead, is simply a dead body, even though he has life but not mind. That's okay? Continue. Affair with the friend's wife is the worst sin. Affair with friend's wife is the worst sin. Explanation. The man having illegal relationship with the wife of his trustworthy friend is nothing other than a dead body. That is, the man having affairs with the wife of his trusted friend is a cause to breach. Is a cause though breach. There is no sin so disgraceful as stealing the wife of another. That is, there is no sin so disgraceful as stealing the wife of another. That is, stealing the wife of another is the worst sin. There are so many worse in human life. But that most of that sins, of those sins, that is the worst one is stealing the wife of another. Stealing the wife of another is the worst sin. Second, he who has affair with the wife of his trusted friend is nothing but a cause, though with life but sans mind. That is, the man who has affair with the wife of his trusted friend is simply dead, though he breathes. The man who has affairs with the wife, who has affairs and the wife, so who has affairs with the wife of his trusted friend is simply dead, though he has, he breathes, though he has life. See, 144th couplet number 144. A very, very beautiful couplet. See, however great he may be, what would happen if he entered with lust the home of another man? Again, however great he may be, what would happen if he entered with lust the home of another man? What is the message of this couplet? That is, if a man, however great he may be, if a man, however great he may be, when he enters when he enters with lust, when he enters when he enters another's home with lustful intention on his way, he is nothing. He is the most disgraceful. He is the most disgraceful man. He is the most sinful man. You can say, if a man entered with lustful intention, if a man entered with lustful intention the home of another's, so that is, if a man entered with lustful intention, and if a man entered the home of another man, having lustful intention on his way, he would be taken as a sinful one. He would be taken as the disgraceful one. Even though he has got so many greatness, even though he has earned various kinds of fames and names, even though he is respected by the society, he will be treated, he will be taken as a sinful one. He will be taken as a disgraceful one. Okay? The center message of that is, however great he may be, what would happen if he entered with the lust, the home of another man? That is, if a man entered another's home, having affairs on his wife, he will be taken as a disgraceful man. Whatever the greatness he has got, whatever the greatness a man has got, if he entered another's house, having affairs on his wife, he would be taken as a, disgraceful man. He would be taken as a disgraceful man. Content, affair on another's wife would ruin us without weighing our greatness. That is, affair on another's wife would ruin us without weighing our greatness. That is, whatever our greatness may be, if we enter the homes of another man, having affair on this wife, would bring us only disgrace, and sin. That's all. Explanation. Because of lust on another's wife, if a man, whatever his greatness is, enters his home without realizing his sin, he will be taken as a disgraceful man. That is simple. That is, say, because of lust on another's wife, if a man enters his home without realizing his sin, he will be taken as a disgraceful man. You see, whatever his greatness, that doesn't matter. If a man enters the home of another man, having affairs on his wife, he will be simply taken as a disgraceful man. despite his greatness, in spite of his greatness, he will be treated as a disgraceful man. That is, if a great man enters another's home, having affair on his wife, he will be taken as a very mean and disgraceful man. Lust is more powerful than wine. It doesn't know what is moral and what is immoral. Its sheer intention would be only quenching its thirst. So, men of dignity and morality should be extremely careful and avoid affair on another's wife. Affair on another's wife would bring only degradation and disgrace. Yes. This is something. It is the day. Again, that is, if a great man enters another's home having affair on his wife, he will be taken as a very mean and disgraceful man. His greatness won't be weighed there. His greatness won't be taken into account when he enters, when he illegally enters the home of another man, having affairs on his wife. The lust is more powerful than wine. It doesn't know what is moral and what is immoral. See, lust doesn't know what is moral and what is immoral. The lust is more powerful. Its sheer intention would be only quenching its thirst. The intention of lust would be quenching its thirst, that's all. It doesn't know what is moral and what is immoral. So, in this place, a civilized and learned man should be very careful. See, however great he may be, what would happen if he entered with lust the home of another man? That is, if a man entered the home of another man having, affair on his wife, he would be taken as a disgraceful man. Whatever his greatness may be. Okay? If a man entered the home of another man having affair on his wife, he could bring him only sin and disgrace, whatever his greatness may be. Couplet 145, it is 145th couplet. He who thinks it is easy to fill the wife of another and fills her will earn everlasting sin of murder. He who thinks it is easy to fill the wife of another and fills her will earn everlasting sin of murder. What is the message of this? That is the man who thinks it is very easy to get the wife of another man and gets that. The man who thinks it is very easy to get the wife of another and gets that would earn only everlasting sin and disgrace. Again, the man who thinks it is very easy to get the wife of another man and gets her and get her would earn everlasting sin and disgrace. Content, affair on another's wife would bring everlasting sin and disgrace. That is, affair on another's wife would bring everlasting sin and disgrace. Explanation. The man, the man who steals the wife of another man, the man who steals the wife of another by hook a group would earn only everlasting disgrace. That is, the man who covers another's wife at the cost of his family reputation and his dignity. That is, a man who covets another's wife at the cost of his family reputation and his dignity would earn permanent sin and disgrace. A man who covets the wife of another at the cost of his family reputation and his dignity would earn permanent sin and disgrace. Again, he who thinks it is easy to fill the wife of another and fills them will earn everlasting sin of murder. That is the man who thinks it is quite easy to get the wife of another man and gets her would earn everlasting sin and disgrace. Respected elders, educationists, their teachers and dear students. Thus, in the 5 couplets, we have seen what are the moral values taught through these 5 couplets. What are the moral values taught through these 5 couplets? What the Saint Vallabhu stresses here regarding having affairs on another's wife, on the wife of another. That is, in a civilized society, one man having affairs on another's wife is quite immoral. It's a great vice. Such kind of immoral behaviors should be totally avoided, should be totally eradicated. Such kind of intention should not, and yet such kind of mean intention should not erupt in the mind itself. That is, no man should think, whether married or unmarried, no man should think to have affairs with another man's wife. It is very, very important. In a civilized society, it is a must not to have affair with the wife of another. It is among the 5 couplets and the most powerful one. 144th couplet. It is, you see, however great he may be, what would happen? However great he may be, what would happen if he entered with lust the home of another? That is, however great he may be, what would happen if he entered with lust? That is, with lustful intention, the home of another man. Now, what is the message of this? That is, whatever the greatness of your man is, whatever the reputation of your man is, if he enters the home of another man, the home of another, having affairs with his wife, he might earn only sin and disgrace. If a man, despite his greatness, enters the home of another man, having affairs on his wife, will earn or would earn only sin and disgrace. This is certain. That is, a civilized society would not tolerate the immoral behavior of a man enjoying the wife of another. A civilized society on no account should tolerate the illegal activities, the illegal affair of a man enjoying the wife of another. That is this argument. So, dear sons and brothers, be extremely careful in protecting, in guarding the reputation and the dignity of both your family and yours. To keep up the reputation of your family and yours. We, the men should be extremely careful to avoid any kind of affairs with the wife of another. That is the message of this chapter, this entire chapter, that is the 10 couplets of this chapter, stresses, the most important morality of not coveting the wife of another. So, respected elders, educationists, dear teachers, and dear students, and my dear sons and brothers, it is my kind and humble request. Be extremely careful not to have affairs on another's wife. Whether you are married or not, that doesn't matter. Whoever you be careful of having affairs with another's wife. Because it is the most disgraceful. It is the most disgraceful act in a civilized society. So be careful, extremely careful regarding this. I thank all of you for watching my explanations on these 5 couplets under the chapter, not coveting another's wife. Till I meet you in the next class, I wish all of you a very nice and sweet time. Thank you.